Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to what we are calling the High Vibe Tribe Meetup. We're really excited about this topic tonight because Pookie and I are going to be. There's always a theme for these things, which is a kind of a jumping off point for conversations. But our theme tonight is abundance, how to experience more of it, and break through the barriers that are holding you back. That's a pretty big topic. I think no matter
Yeah.
who you are or where you are in life, you have dealt with this topic, abundance, money. Of course, abundance comes in many forms, but we're gonna go right and we're gonna talk about the money part of it too, which goes hand in hand with the overall topic of a abundance. And so I'm really excited to talk about that. Let's see here, but actually, what we're gonna do now is one of these things about one thing about these high vibe tribe meetups, whether they're happening on Zoom or they're happening in real life, which we're doing them in St. Louis. Samantha, who's handling the waiting room, letting people in and helping us with the tech side of things. She's hosting one in Raleigh, North Carolina. Sandy's talked about doing one too. So they may be popping up, and plus we're going to be traveling more. We're coming upcoming. We're going to be in Florida actually for 3 or 4 events at the end of October.
Yeah.
Um, so whether they're happening in person or on Zoom, we like them to be interactive. We want you to like rub elbows with other people that are vibing high. And so we're going to do a real quick kind of a meet and greet exercise where we're going to break into little pods of 3 people. And can you do the quick math? Can you do
Well,
like
there's going to
40?
be one that's going to have two.
So yeah. Oh, so how many? So 44 or 43? If you subtract us divided by 3 is what? How many? I can get my calculator out here.
Let's see
So
here.
yeah. do some quick math, but basically there's going to be hang on a second, and so I'm going to pause the recording momentarily while we do this, but you're going to get together and you're going to be sharing 3 things. You're going to have like a minute each. It's going to be like a 3-minute quickie. So you're going to be sharing who you are, where you're from, and what inspired you to sign up for this and join us and just meet some new friends. So we're going to do like 13 or
Yeah, do
14.
13.
Okay, so let me hang on a
One will have
second.
4 faces. Look at all the smiles. Oh, look at all the amazing smiles. Look at. Ah, you know what? Here's the truth of it. You deserve abundance in your life. You deserve to have the things that you desire, right? And this really, because the truth of it is that you're worthy of it. These are the things that get in our way when it comes to abundance. What is one of the things that gets in our way is that we don't believe that we're worthy of it. It's probably the biggest thing.
Hmm.
So there's a big one right there for you, but we're going to talk about some other ways in which we get in our own
Yeah.
way when it comes to abundance.
So we want to have that initial get to know some people, just get some energy going, just so you're not passively sitting there the entire time. And
Yeah.
we're gonna have a longer breakout in just a little bit here. So I hope you enjoyed that and made a new friend,
Or two.
yeah, or two. But let's go ahead and jump into this topic of abundance. I am recording again. That's good. Yes. So abundance, how to experience more of it and break through the barriers that are holding you back. So let's chat about this for a while. It's Samantha's back, right? Is
Yeah,
she okay?
she's
Okay.
here.
I know. There's
There
okay.
she
She's like, you were up in a different spot there on the.
Like, where'd she go?
And so she's back to handling yeah. That's a tough job of the waiting room. I think made people wait too long. It was horrible. Um, um, so I'm just going to share some like a personal my journey with the topic of abundance and money, just to let you know that it hasn't always been a smooth ride. So I was raised by a single mom, which was amazing. She did a great job raising me. I was born in 1960, so you can do the math. I turned 62 earlier this year. But my mom not only raised me as her single mom, but she always worked for a nonprofit. So the money was never in abundance in our household. She worked a lot, and she made sure all our basic needs were met. But I grew up in a situation where there were shortages. Although she did a great job of getting me what I needed for school and clothes and all that good stuff. And then when I went out on my own, in my 20s and 30s, I did a lot of creative stuff. I don't know how many of you know much about my background, but done a lot of things in the
Yeah.
arts over the years. I've been, playing music, and I've been, acted in plays and did stand-up comedy and improv comedy. There was a 10-year period where I published a music newspaper here in my hometown of St. Louis, Missouri, visual art with acrylic painting. I was doing all these creative things, and so I was very fulfilled creatively. It was like a very energizing time. I pursued a lot of things that I didn't wait for permission. Just pursued these things that interested in me. But for many years, like throughout my 20s and 30s, that pattern continued, where I was just kind of scraping by, all in some months, wondering how the rent was going to be paid, or how I was going to pay for the car repair, to keep my. But I always had a place to live, and most of the time I had a car that ran. Again, I'm talking about my 20s and 30s, and then finally something clicked, and it wasn't until like I was 40. Right around then that I started to get financially to experience more abundance, where I chose to focus instead of having all these wide range of interests. I embraced this new thing called the internet back in the 90s, and just dove into it. And I was also my first book was published. My first couple of books were published in the 90s. Most of them self-published, and I used the internet and to spread my message. And ended up early on, I was publishing books on music marketing. As being a musician myself, being one who's fascinated by promotion and marketing, I just started writing articles, and then those became books, and it became a whole thing where I was a teacher and a coach for a lot of musicians over the years. But I finally got to the point where my book sales got to the point where I could quit a day job that I had in 2004, and I haven't looked back since then. But being an entrepreneur, being working for yourself, it's a roller coaster ride. So there were ebbs and flows with that business, and I've had to pivot and do some other things. And it was actually during a kind of coming out of a what do you call it? There's highs and lows. Coming out of a low around 2016, where I was trying to find my way. This is when I started doing the affirmations on YouTube, and not as like a business transaction or thinking that it was like I was actually seeking these things out for myself. Affirmations, that I'd used them for many years. I've been a student of personal development for many years. But I was seeking these things out to kind of get out of the funk that I was in, not really happy with what I was finding. And with Pookie's encouragement, started using my voice to create my own affirmation recordings and to create the things that I was looking for but couldn't find on YouTube in particular. And look where that's led. Now it's on the verge of
Wow.
300,000 subscribers and over like 1 million views a month across the entire channel. It's the primary way that we support ourselves, and then Pookie's gotten more and more involved with the channel. I think a lot of you have probably seen our Sunday live streams that we've been doing for nearly 2 years.
So fun.
Yeah. And so it's been a journey. And I know one thing early on when I was trying to find my way with abundance and just for money to be present in my life, all my needs met, and having at least a bit of a surplus, was I remember I was reading everything. I was consume all the information. I was actually taking a lot of action too. I was always like brainstorming and trying different things. But I remember whenever I ran across advice where the expert would say, "You need to become the person who can earn that type of money." I would go, yeah. Just forget that. Just tell me what button to push. Like, what do I need to do to
What's the code?
Yeah. And so I was thinking that I had to, yeah. So, but now I think more than ever, I realized that advice was spot on. That you really do have to embody that, know that you're worthy of it, know that you deserve it, have the confidence to ask for the sale or whatever, to pursue the things that are going to bring abundance into your life. And so that mindset part of it, combined with the real world action steps, is what really can turn things around.
Yeah.
And I think you had a similar experience growing up.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Well, like think about everything is relationship. And think about your relationship with money. What is your relationship with money? And how we view money, and how we look at money has a direct effect on the way that money shows up in our life. If we're grateful for money, if we're thankful for money, if we like I've even heard it said that the way that you put the dollar bills inside of your wallet matters, right? Like
Really?
just the attention, the
Oh yeah.
care of having them all facing the same way, putting them in denominations as they increase. Like there's like, what is the care? If you're really wanting to attract this into your life, what is your relationship with money? Right? Are you honoring money? Do you have a reverence for money? Are you thankful for the money that you do have? Right? These are all things like when we begin to change, it's our relationship to things. When we begin to change our relationship with money, because isn't that what we all want? We want a new relationship with money. Well, if that's true, then there are some things that we're going to have to do in how it is that we perceive money or we experience money or how we look at money
Yeah.
or even how we look at people who have money. Right? Do you have some things inside of you that have resentment towards people that are successful and that have money? If you do, that is going to be a huge block in for you to receive abundance
Mhm.
because you're judging that. So, there's all these things that we get to look at in ourselves.
Hold the mic a little closer.
Oh, can you
Yeah.
hear me okay?
I just want to make just want
Sorry.
to make sure. Yeah.
Sometimes I talk too loud, sometimes I talk too
Oh.
soft.
But and also like when you're paying bills, like I used to, oh
Oh
Jesus,
my
I feel I
gosh.
gotta write this
Oh, I don't want to
this
pay
check,
those
and then you gripe
bills.
about the corporations and having to support the man, all this stuff,
Right.
and yeah, I mean I understand that, but also what maybe to switch that around to like wow
I get
I'm
you.
grateful that I have the surplus to be able to and I'm able to pay this bill and think about the people that you're supporting who are feeding their families, working that job for that company or whatever,
And
you
generally,
know.
when we're paying bills like that, we're paying for something we've already received. Like we've already received the electricity. We've already received that. So it's just like paying, and then like when you're writing out that check or however it is that you're entering it on the, online, just deep gratitude that I have the money, like my needs are satisfied, that I have the money to pay for this, that I'm grateful. Sometimes people even take it to where they're grateful that they even have bills,
Right.
and that they have commitments, that they have things that they have to pay. Rather than, so, it's like thinking about how is it that we approach this money, when, like, because it's kind of different when we receive it, right? We're all excited when we receive it. Wow! Could we have that same excitement as we're releasing it? And understanding too that money is meant to flow. All of the problems that we have in the world right now are because there are some that are hoarding money, that they're not allowing it into the flow, so it's not allowed to benefit on a much bigger scale, you know? And so we get to look at this
Mm.
and who we are and our relationship with money and what our thoughts are about money. And can we cultivate thoughts that are healthy that support us in achieving whatever abundance is for you,
Mm.
you know?
So this is a huge topic, and we're only going to scratch the surface here
Yeah.
tonight. We're gonna take a deeper dive into it. Some of you are already aware. Some of you actually are already signed up for a program that we're doing throughout the month of October called 30 Days to Manifesting More Money and Abundance. It starts October 1st. I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go along here. But we're gonna take you through a process there, and yeah, a lot of them involves affirmations and the more positive aspects. But really, the first stage, the first step, is you have to sort of like become aware of what's holding you back and become hyper aware of it. And so that's what our next breakout is going to be here shortly. But I just want to kind of introduce the topic here to give you some things to think about, and then I want you to get back in your pods. We're going to reconnect, probably with different people than you had in that little introductory thing, and we're going to discuss what are the things that are holding you back, and we're just going to share that. We're going to see what the commonalities are. I think you're going to find that you're not alone in the obstacles that you face. But what are some of the things that hold people back from money and abundance? I'm going to start with the 3D world, the tangible world, and so it's actually your behaviors and your habits. So what are the things that you're doing and not doing that may be hindering you? Again, we're not going to focus on these negative aspects and beat ourselves up about it. We're just going to shine the light of awareness on it, like Pookie likes to say, without judgment, just so you're aware of it. So that then once you're aware of the stumbling blocks, then you can take steps to proactively dissolve them and replace them with new habits and new mindsets. And again, I didn't figure it out till I was 40, and even after that. I still have, ebbs and flows with this whole topic. But behaviors and habits, so that could be, are you even pursuing things like, is there something that you offer, a product or service that maybe you're just too shy to make people aware of, you're too shy to make people aware that you even have this thing for sale? Are you gun shy about, well, who am I to think that I can offer this thing and anybody's going to pay for it? Is that a negative belief that's holding you back? Again, that's a belief, but what about the behavior? Are you resistant to sharing online? Are you, like, if somebody comes to you and say, oh, here, I heard that you do this thing, I'd like to purchase that, how much do you charge? And that you just like freeze up and you and do you then offer a price that's way under valued because you're just so desperate for the sale or whatever? I've been there. I still do this, to be honest with you. Pookie will tell you. And so these are the like behavioral, actual physical things that you're doing. Are you just resistant to pursuing this a passion that you have that could potentially make money someday? Because so it's an action that you're either taking or not taking. But the big one is the mental, the interior, the intangible things.
Yeah, because really our thoughts create our behaviors.
Yeah.
And so whatever the thoughts are that we're having, we're going to respond to those thoughts in our actions. And so it's kind of like it's a good opportunity to get really clear, like with yourself, about where you are with money, if that's the abundance that you're seeking. Now, someone here might be seeking abundance in health. Like they want really vibrant cells within their body. They want this abundance of vitality and healthy state of being, right? Someone might want an abundance of relationships. Might want to be in a community, So abundance does come in many forms, and many people, and I think that we've been kind of programmed this way. Many people look at money as being the thing that solves all of our problems, and it doesn't. Even more of it doesn't, right? However, money is something that we all agree that benefits our life in ways, in tangible ways. And so we see money as a way to getting to that which we desire.
Yep. And so just I just want to cover some of those mental blocks, and then you're well aware of them, but they could be your emotional reactions to different aspects of money. It's internal programming. Most of the things that are running our lives, but especially our relationship to money and abundance, are internal programs that are subconscious. We're not even aware that they're steering the ship, if you will, and they just come from years of patterns that we've built up, experiences we had as kids, things we were told when we were younger, and those things build up, and now you're not even aware that that's running your life. Fear is a huge one that comes up. We actually had this conversation with our Patreon supporters on Saturday through our monthly call.
Yeah.
And fear was the big one that came up. Fear, what are people going to think? What if this thing fails? Who am I again?
Who am I to do this?
And everybody is like fearful of uncertainty and the unknown. When you're trying something new, something you've never done before, you're stepping out in a bold way.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of like discomfort. I experience that to this day. We're getting ready to do some things we've never done before, and I'm like, I'm getting a little nervous about that. But you move forward anyway. Losing out on the status quo. If I step up and up my game, my comfortable life, maybe my friends will change, or I won't be able to sit on the couch and watch Netflix as much as I do, whatever. So yeah, there's all these things that come into play. So what I would like to do is we're going to have another breakout. This was going to be a longer one, and I want you in your groups to share with each other what are the things that are holding you back, and just be honest with each other. This is a safe, positive group. Again, we're not beating yourself up. It's not like to wallow in this negativity, but it's to shine the light of awareness on it, so that then you can take the next step. And then that's what we're going to talk about as we go along here, how we're going to replace those beliefs,
Right.
and
Well,
yeah.
create a new relationship with those beliefs.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some affirmations
Yeah.
later and all that. So I'm going
You're gonna
to.
need 13 rooms now.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to pause the recording. All right, everybody's back from a good 10-minute breakout session where you talked about and shared with each other the things that were holding you back when it comes to money and abundance. And I would like, this is where we're going to get you involved, and no more sitting back and just listening to us. It's time for us to hear from you. I think the best way to do this, if you're aware of where the little hand raising feature is, in Zoom there. I would like to get some shares. I'd like to have some people volunteer, like what came up in your pod. What were the similarities of what you all were struggling with? And let's just hear what came up. What were some of the things that are holding you and other people back? So, Bridget, you yes. So everybody stay muted. But Bridget, go ahead and unmute yourself, and then Sandy will come next and let us know what came up for you.
Yeah, I loved being with my group. Thank you so much. Wow, a lot of common threads, a lot of fears of being on social media, fears of not knowing the next steps or not feeling confident about them. Common threads about gratitude for what we do have, and remembering that what we focus on, like I was saying, I got to the place where I was saying that, if I'm feeling sad and upset about stuff happening in my life and in the world, that if I can just remember being in this room with the folks and practicing gratitude, finding something to be thankful for, to help amplify, what I do have and what is going right, to help my vibration get back up. So thanks for this opportunity to share, and really appreciate being with you all today.
That's great insights, Bridget, and it's so true that I was often said. I mean, we talked about the first stage is identifying what's holding you back, but the first step to getting out of that and to reversing some of those things is gratitude. You are absolutely right. That's like a fundamental first step, being grateful for what you have, and you can also be ready for more.
Yeah.
It's not one or the other, right?
Right.
So I know you're a big gratitude fan.
I am a big gratitude. I think that gratitude opens up the gates. I mean, because it really and I think that, so there's real power. If you've never done a gratitude journal, where you journal at the close of your day, just five things that you're grateful for the day. You would not believe, just do that for 30 days. You would just not believe what will happen, what begins to flow into your life.
And there's a guy on YouTube that has a bunch of gratitude affirmation recordings. I think that you might be able to find.
Yeah, I think, yeah, and I think his name starts with a B.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about him.
We're here to talk about you.
So Sandy, yes, you're up, and then we got Jen Lowe and Linda after that. So yeah, what came up?
Hi, Sandy. Welcome.
Hi, we know Sandy.
Yes. So what came up with us? First, I got to say, Ashley needs to show y'all her affirmation picture behind her. It is incredible. But what came up for us was we were all on the same page, where we don't have a fear of the success or anything like that. We have basically, what stops us is free time. Like, we're sabotaging ourselves because that extra, there's her picture. It's great. You would love it, Bob and Pookie. It's all affirmations.
Oh, I
am
love
beautiful.
it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So we paid a lot of attention looking at that. But it's that, for me, it's something that came up with me working with somebody, is that as we want clients, because we both are all three of us are on our own wanting clients. The whole thing is then we got to give up something like free time. Like during the summer for me, that means I can't travel. That means I couldn't go to the pool. So I sabotaged myself and realized we were all doing that, where we want something, but then we have to give up other things in order to get what we want.
That's a great point. This time thing has come up time and time again, if I might be able to say it that way. And I acknowledge, yeah, especially people that have a lot of responsibilities. And there was a period of my time where I had a day job and I was, working full time. I was caring for my daughter, who was a toddler at the time, like half of the time. I was doing band gigs and stuff on the side, and using the internet on nights and weekends, trying to promote my this new thing that I had with my books. I actually wrote 100,000-word book over a course of like 8 months while in that position. So it's funny, actually. There's sometimes people that are super busy actually are more effective with their time because they have to be a little bit more disciplined. And I've actually heard that people, when they finally can quit their day jobs. I interviewed this one guy once who was there's this incredibly prolific writer and blogger, and he finally was making enough money and he quit his day job and he had all this free time, and he was lost, and he was actually less productive for a while because of this new schedule. When you have a lot of time, sometimes you don't fill it with the stuff you
Right.
think you're going to. But a lot of people think that they have to do this big immense thing, like they're waiting for a time in their life where the deck's going to be cleared, or the schedule is going to be wide open, and they can really dive into this thing. When really taking baby steps, little by little, even if you have a 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, or even a half an hour here and there to devote to just planting that seed and watering it, even though you don't have the time that you would like or you think that it needs, spending even a little bit of time, you're acknowledging to yourself and to this desire that you have that this is important. I'm slowly but surely building. That's how I built my whole, whether it was the music marketing books or YouTube or whatever. It was little by little, piece by piece. There was no monumental thing that put me over the top. It was just a consistent baby steps over time. So just do whatever you can with what you have right where you are. But that's a great, but yeah, so time comes up and evaluate, is this true? And what can I, yes, you do have to make choices and maybe give up some things, but don't deny it, like up to this day in the future that's probably never going to come. All right, cool. Jen Lowe, good to see you, my dear. Feel free to unmute. And
Hello, Jen Lowe. It's so
I
good
just
to
have to
see
put
you.
my hand down now, right? Yes. So I was with Miss Linda twice. And so it was good to have a little bit more time with her. I think someone else did come in, but I couldn't see him. She said someone else came in. But I think what we both have is we both doing growth and just learning ourselves. It sounded like she's overcome some things. I don't know if she wants me to share it out here, but she's overcoming, dealing with her. I won't call it a health issue, but I've also overcoming my car accident. So both healing, which is it's always here, and then it flows down to the body. So just wanting to serve people, help people full time is what I gathered from her with the job. And I've been there. And it's funny you just said what you said, because I did leave my job to do my business and everything full time. And I was like, all this time on my hands. I've been more productive in the last going on month going back into the work field with subbing than I was
isn't that funny how that works? Yeah.
Head. So but yeah, she's also an author. We got a lot in common. We just want to be, I'm a speaker and she wants to speak and everything. So just growth. But I gather the common denominator is just I would say loving yourself, healing in yourself, learning who you are is a big factor in that. And we're both going through, I think that's an ongoing phase.
Yeah.
That's an ongoing thing. But the more you learn, the more you develop, the more you can help other people. You can help yourself better, and you can help other people.
That's so true.
That is, yeah. And I'm glad you used the word heal too, because we've mentioned this a few times in recent weeks. But Pookie and I have been having a lot of conversations about like what like a process that we want to take people through, and it's one that we've been through ourselves throughout our lives, and we're probably going to come up with some fancy name for it at some point, but we've got it down like a signature system or whatever. But right now it's a three. But we got it. We can just describe it with three words. And there's like three basic stages, and it's heal, activate, and connect. I know some of you have heard us talk about that: heal, activate, and connect. And under the heal category is this identifying the obstacles and then healing them and dissolving them and replacing them slowly but surely with things that are going to serve you more.
Well, you minimize them.
Yeah,
they don't ever go away.
Right. Yeah. Fear never goes away. Uncertainty is certainly never going to go away.
It just doesn't. But we minimize it.
Right.
So it's not the loudspeaker that's going in our lives.
Right, you turn up the volume on things that are gonna empower you and move you toward what you really want, and turn the volume down on those things. But you have to be aware of what's slowing you down. Like I talk about driving with the emergency brake on. Just like you're stunted there.
You're gonna get there. You're just gonna ruin a whole bunch of stuff on the way.
Yeah. Gonna ruin your transmission or something. So Linda, we were just talking about you. Why don't you come in and let's hear your voice on this? What came up?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
You can, yes.
Awesome. Yes, I did have the privilege of hanging out with Jen Lo twice. She's such a beautiful human being. Thank you so much, Jen Lo. We had some great sharing. It was wonderful. And yeah, for sure. We both connected on the fact that we're on this healing journey. And, for a long time, I was suffering with a lot of imposter syndrome and wondering if my message had value, if what I had to say was important enough. It was important to me, but was it important enough for others? And so through my healing journey, my self-work, I've come to realize my own value, and I'm ready to take that next step, that next big, huge step towards abundance, because I have abundance in other areas of my life. Through that healing, I've been able to create some of the parts of my life that are really, really working well. And now it's time to work on this part, and I'm so excited about it. But I did want to talk about one of the things that Jen Lo and I also had in common was when you're struggling a little bit financially and you're trying to make these big changes for yourself. And as being creatives, both she and I, there are things we needed, equipment, stuff to help us get on that process. And it clicked with me because I thought about how when you're creating this person that you want to be, when you're manifesting, when you're imagining yourself in this new reality, you also have to take action. You have to take steps towards that goal that you want to do. And so it was hard, but we got the stuff we needed to walk the walk and talk the talk. And, we want to be authors, so act like an author, get the stuff you need to be an author. You want to be a vlogger, a blogger, get the stuff you need to be that, and take on that persona that you want to manifest for yourself. So that was a really nice revelation for the two of us as well.
Well, there's so many great things that you said there.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Linda. Wow. So imposter syndrome. Yeah, that's a big one.
Huge.
That a lot of people struggle
Who
with.
am I to do this?
Especially when you're doing something new. And we talk a lot about how the mindset has to be there first, and then you can take action on it. But I've mentioned this a number of times in case you didn't hear it before, or even if you have heard it, it's okay. But but the reverse can be true too. Sometimes it's taking action, even through the fear, can build your confidence and can also embellish your mindset. So they kind of work hand in hand. And then it's nice when they go back and forth. You step out there and you do something you've never done before, and you survive it, and it actually, you got some benefit out of it. Oh, now you feel more confidence. That confidence fuels the next action step, and it snowballs.
It just builds and builds
from
builds,
there.
Yeah.
And then the not having the physical things or the money or the equipment Again, one of my favorite quotes. I said it earlier. I didn't attribute it, but it's from Teddy Roosevelt. Do what you can with what you have right where you are. That's one of my favorite quotes, and what I've it's like a mantra that I've lived by my entire life, because I did not come from me. Of all the things that I've done, publishing a newspaper, publishing books, I did not have a bankroll or somebody, an investor, or thankfully, yeah, because I've heard a lot of people get in trouble with that. You have partnerships that don't work out.
Yeah.
But you do what you can. I didn't have a lot of fancy equipment, to start doing things on YouTube.
Like a newspaper. You didn't have fancy equipment for that.
Yeah, or to publish a book. I just figured out my very first self-published book, it was back in like 1996, and it was really impossible. That was way before print on demand. You needed thousands of dollars to do offset print run and all that. So I did what I could. I actually printed these series of articles that I had written on music promotion, 3-hole punched them, put them in a 3-ring binder, made a really ugly cover that I slid into the front of it, and that's how I sold the first.
We have one
The
of
first
those.
copy, yeah, something called the Guerrilla Music Marketing Handbook. That's how I got my start with it. And then as technology changed, I upgraded the packaging. And
It was a notebook, folks.
Yeah.
That was 3-hole punched at home.
I went to Office Max, and yeah, at one point got a coil bound thing. But so I did what I could until I figured out a better way to do it. And that book ended up being, you may or may not be familiar with it, but it became kind of a classic in the 2000s in particular. It was like one of the first books that taught independent musicians how to promote themselves, as opposed to how to get a record deal or do something on a large scale.
Become a label slave.
Yeah, so it's a different topic, but yeah. So I didn't. If I had waited, who knows what would have happened. So you just do what you can with what you have right where you are,
And you'll be surprised.
yeah. But you figure out ways to get the stuff that you need, as
Yeah.
you have demonstrated, Linda. So that's awesome. Anyone else want to digitally or raise your hand and contribute to the conversation? I love this. I love where this is going, though.
So good.
Yeah, but that was a great share, Linda, and everyone here.
And here's the other thing too. We teach what we are learning. Like some of the best teachers out there are students of the work that they're teaching. Right? We're teaching what we're learning. What we're able to share with you and what we're sharing with you is what we've learned in our own experience of moving through this process, and riding the roller coaster of abundance. Right? Like, whoa, we got
Yeah.
so much abundance. Whoa, where did it all go? Whoa, here it is again. Whoa. Right?
And yeah, I'm comfortable right now. Oh, I'm gonna do something new. Oh my God, I feel really uncomfortable. But I'm gonna push through. Oh, hey, it's not so bad. Oh, I learned to do this now. You're right. So it's all a series of stuff. But trusting yourself, yeah, and knowing that you can do it, and
And having a supportive community around you, or even if it's just one person, having a cheerleader
right.
who's on your side, who is just like, no matter what, this person is going to cheer you on. They're going to see your success. They're going to see it for you. They're always there for you to support you in that way. And you know who that person is in your life. Right, and if you don't have one, find one. There's probably wow, we got a ton of cheerleaders in here.
Yeah,
Ton of them.
with or
ton of
without
cheerleaders.
pom poms.
Yeah. Yeah, with or without pom poms.
This might be a good time to talk about, if you want to take a deeper dive into I guess this is a top of mind for us because we're getting ready and getting set up to launch this new Turbocharge Your Life 30-day program. It's going to be throughout the month of October. I just want to let you know a little bit about that. Instead of talking about it, because we've been talking a lot, I actually have a short video that I just want to play. I'm going to share my screen and let that play. It's as if you're not. I know some of you already signed up for it here, which I'm looking forward to going through that journey with you. But I just want to play this. It tells you more succinctly than I probably could if we just talked about it here. That's all about. I got a special offer for you that I'll let you know right after that. So let me just take a moment if you'll just check this out. I'm going to share my sound. Oh, is it still? Is it still there? Is that the video? Oh no, I'm in advance. I'm sorry. Hang on a second. Here we go.
There you go.
All right, I'm going to play this and just check it out, and then we'll come back. We're going to have some more discussions about this topic, and then how to turn it around too, because that's an important conversation. All right, hang on there. And here we go. So starting October 1st, Pookie and I will be leading a program called 30 Days to Manifesting More Money and Abundance. I hope that piqued your interest. We could all use a little more prosperity and cash flow in our lives. And a lot of people have already signed up for it. Really looking forward to this, but I want to use this video to clarify a few things about what exactly you get with the program. So with the upcoming program, there are some activities you do daily on your own, and then there are a number of activities that you can do with others. It's the community. You're not doing this alone. You're moving through it with a group of other people. So let me first cover the aspects that you'll be doing on your own. Beginning with day one, you'll start getting a daily email from me. In that email will be the affirmation of the day and also a link to a short audio pep talk from me, about 2 or 3 minutes long, that expounds on the affirmation of the day and just encourages you to embrace that abundance mindset. You'll also download a 30-page, 30-day abundance journal that I encourage you to print out. So every morning, what you would do is listen to that day's audio pep talk and then respond to 2 short prompts in your journal. And then at the end of the day, there are 2 prompts that you should write down before you go to bed. So if you're super pressed for time, you could literally do these 2 activities in 10 minutes or less. Again, first thing rising in the morning, listen to the audio for that day, read the affirmation of the day, which will be at the top of that day's journal page, fill out the 2 morning prompts, then you're off and running throughout your day. And then before you go to bed at night, fill out the 2 journal prompts for the evening. Easy peasy. If you can spend more time on it, great. But if not, it's that simple. And this is the secret sauce that will make this experience so powerful. So one aspect of it is our 3 live 90-minute Zoom calls. I'll be sending you the dates, but they're basically 3 Saturdays that are 2 weeks apart. And the first, I think the 15th and the 30th. And they start at 10 a.m. Eastern. 3 Saturday mornings, 2 weeks apart at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the 30-day period. Now, these Zoom calls are not classes, they're not workshops, they're interactive discussions on the topic at hand. This is where you get to meet other participants. We share ideas. We go into depth on whatever aspect of the abundance process we are discussing at that point of the program. So please do your best to make those calls. It'd be great if you can make all 3 of them and stay the entire time. If not, just come when you can. Yes, there will be recordings of them that you can listen to if you can't make a call. Also, when you register, you get lifetime access to the Turbocharge Your Life Facebook group. This is a place where you can come throughout the week 24/7 and post your updates, let people know about your progress or any challenges that you're having. Also, I encourage you to go in there and see what other people are posting, comment on their posts, encourage them. It's just another way to really soak up that group dynamic and that energy. A lot of people refer to it as their new abundance family. So take advantage of that private Facebook group. Another powerful aspect that is an option that I highly encourage you to take advantage of are new Prosperity Pod partners. Yes, that's a mouthful. In all of our previous Turbocharge Your Life programs, we've hooked people up with success partners. So these are 2 people that are encouraged to connect with each other anytime from 1 to 3 times a week during the program. But we're going to expand that and do something that I think is even more powerful. And they're going to be pods of 3 people. So we will connect you with 2 other people who are also doing the program and encourage you to connect with each other at least once a week, but I think 2 or 3 times a week, just really quickly, 10 minutes on Zoom or on a conference call, just to touch base and encourage each other and keep that momentum going. In addition to that, there will be a focus of the week. So you have a little optional extra homework to do to work on a specific aspect of abundance. One week it might be rooting out those mental obstacles, those things that are holding you back, beliefs that you've been holding on to for way too many years. Another time it might be you making lists of ways that money can come to you. While this program isn't about how to start an Etsy store or how to start a business or whatever, we are going to be having you generate ideas about ways that money can come to you, how you can earn it and attract it. Another week, the focus will be connecting with people who will encourage and support you, connecting with potential customers and people who will exchange money for whatever value you have to offer them. So we really tried to pack this with all the support and the tools that you need to truly attract money, to manifest abundance and prosperity into your life. And by focusing on it for these 30 days, really devoting yourself to this process, I think you will find your financial situation improving, money showing up in expected and unexpected ways, and your life getting better as a result. So I hope that clarifies things, and I hope you will join us for this 30-day adventure. Please go to turbochargeyourlife.us and check it out and register now. It starts October 1st through October 30th. And I want to help you change your relationship with money to improve your self-identity, your mindset around money and abundance. And I know this will be able to help you. All right, there. Thanks for listening to that. Thanks for Pookie pointing out that we're muted. You saw our lips moving. So thanks for listening to that. And I want to pop something into the chat here. I'll probably also be sending this out by email. But if you're not signed up, I know a number of you that are already here. If this intrigues you between now and Friday, you can save 15% off, which is around close to $30 off of the off of the registration fee. And this will be the last sort of discount that I'll be offering for this, and only good through Friday. So you have a couple of days to think about it and jump on it. But if you want to join us, there's a link there, and the discount code is SAVE15, so SAVE15, and it'll knock about $30 off. So the full fee is $197. So this will bring it down to just below $170 if you'd like to join us and take advantage of all that. So yes, thank you for checking
All
it out.
right.
I hope you seriously consider it.
Yeah. And we'll be diving deeper into this topic throughout the 30 days.
So let me instead of having another breakout, which I want to respect everyone's time. Would anyone like to offer any ways? Now, we've talked about the obstacles, which again is the very first step. We're doing this without judgment. But what are some ways that either you've used or you recommend that you can start turning things around? How can you turn the volume down on those things that are holding you back? How can you change your behaviors? How can you find the time? Anything that we've discussed? Would anybody like to either physically raise your hand or digitally raise your? Oh, there we go. Jen Lowe's back in. We'd love to get a couple of other people chiming in on this topic too.
Come on, do it, Jen Lowe. Let's hear it. What you got, girl?
It was just like what I told Miss Linda. What I've started to do is just something as simple as tonight. So between the Auditor and Liddell has banana chips that's a little bit less, right, for like $1.78 versus $2.97. And I'm like, what I've been used to doing is saying, no, I'm going to be cheap. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to go get that. And then I have to tell myself now, no, you have it. It's not that you don't have it. You're penny pinching. You have it. Get what you have now because you know what's going to happen tomorrow. You're not going to go and you're going to wish you had got it. So I have to change my self-talk and say, if I want abundance, if I want more money, I can't be, like I was telling her, I can't be like this so much. I have to be like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to get it back. It's okay. Not only am I going to get it back, I'm going to get more back. Let it go. You got it. Stop saying no. You have it. And you have more than enough. Get what you want now. Get what you need now so that you don't regret not doing it later and then it's gone.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother thing we could talk about. Like our thoughts around scarcity, like not enough, holding on to money, grasping it, like not right, and having this crazy conversations with ourselves around money. So Jen Lo, that's thank you for bringing that up.
So I heard this thing years ago in my early delving into personal development. I don't even remember the author's name, but he said anytime you act or time you do something, you reinforce the motivating belief that was behind that action. And so yes, if you are choosing to buy the lower price thing because of scarcity, because of a belief that I only deserve this lower price thing.
Or that's
And
all I
it's,
can afford.
yeah, that's going to reinforce that. But you can get to a point where, and I'm because I'm in my when I there are things that I see that I want, and I think and I have the money, I could buy them, but I choose not to because I just think it's a smart, frugal, responsible thing to do. You have to make choices. I'm not just going to load our house to the gills and be a hoarder, you know. And so as long as if you make that decision that I'm going to go either not buy this thing or go with the lower price thing, and from a sense of abundance, then that's fine. So it's not necessarily always the act, but it's what's the motivating belief behind it that you're
Right.
reinforcing. And that's where that awareness comes in, like monitoring your thoughts, really being introspective, and
Yeah.
what's motivating this thing. Like if you buy an alarm system for your house, is that motivating? Is that reinforcing the thought
That you're unsafe?
yeah, or is it I'm going to feel
Or
more?
is it I'm safe?
I'm going to feel more secure, you know. So
Because it can be either one, right? And it's all about how we think about it.
yeah,
See that? It's all about how we think about it. That's the most important thing, right? Nothing has any inherent value. Money doesn't have any inherent value other than what we attribute to it, other than what we give to it, right? And who we show up to money is so important because if we show up needy to money, what happens? Money runs. Money runs from needy. If you're needy, and you're begging for money, blah, 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 I need money, need, I need it. It's not gonna. That is not the vibration, the frequency that brings it to you, right? Because all you're doing is you're affirming that you need money, and so you continue to create a cycle of needing money because that is what you're affirming. Is I need money. I need money. I need, right? So we have to pay attention to these thoughts because these negative loops can get in there.
that was a quotable there. Money runs from needy. Being needy.
Yeah,
That's
money does
interesting.
run from needy.
Anyone else like to share ways to? We'll wrap this up pretty quickly, and then we'll do the after party for anyone who wants to stick around. But any other? I would just like to get at least one more thought on how to a technique that you've used or that you're going to incorporate. Yeah, like what's your takeaway? How are you going to break through and reprogram your identity around money? What's something simple that you can do? A simple step that you can take. Who would like to do that? Can either
Unmute yourself and start talking.
yeah, I guess at this point, yeah, if you got something to say, just unmute and let's hear you.
Okay, so one thing that I was telling them is that it's not so much as I don't know what to do or the fact that I need to change my mindset or how to think. It's that I have to remember that being in the right mindset is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's what my
Oh.
problem is I know like, with anything, like I know how to do it. I know exactly how to tell other people. Like when they need stuff from me, I know exactly what to tell them that needs to be done, how to do it, how to think. I know what to tell them. But when it comes to me, I have to keep reminding myself it's a lifestyle. It's not what you do today. It's not what you did yesterday. It's your lifestyle now. You have to stay in that right, mindset, that right vibration to keep, things going like you need to be. And that's what I need right now. I just need to keep remembering every day that that's my lifestyle for life, not just what I did to get here or what I was thinking yesterday, and I got to keep getting right back into the well. If that worked, then how come this can't work? I got to remember it. It needs to be that way all the time for everything.
That's brilliant, Katrina. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's almost, and it's very there's a similarity to like a health journey. Yeah, you can eat the right things and exercise on a particular day or for a week or 2 weeks, but if you get away from it, then your health it'll be revealed. And I think what you're saying, if I want to put words in your mouth, but you want to get to the point where that abundance mindset is second nature to you. It's lifestyle. It's like comes automatically. And the way that you get there is those daily choices that you make. And it's almost like Groundhog Day. You got to get up and do it at the same. You got to do it every day and recommit yourself to the process and the affirmations and the gratitude and the taking actions, monitoring your thoughts. I mean, it's a lot to do, but that can all become second nature, and eventually, because the programming that's ruling your life now was built up. You weren't born with that; it was installed into you, but because of the patterns, the little by it built up the same way that we're talking about here. The little choices we all make, things we heard on a daily basis, year after year. But so that's the way that you dissolve it or change it or redirect it, recalibrate, if you will, is by taking those, chipping away at it, right? Oh, it's beautiful. I love that.
Awesome.
Wow. We covered some great stuff here.
Really good stuff. Wow.
So I'm going to invite everyone to unmute themselves. We're going to do some affirmations here, and I would like to hear you just repeat them back. So these are 3 of my favorite, like, money and abundance related affirmations. And
so we know these ones work.
Yeah, so these are the ones that not only I like.
You know what? Affirmations only work as much as you're willing to, invest.
Make 'em work. Yep.
Right? You're the one that's coming to the affirmation.
So, these are ones that got like the most response from my YouTube viewers and podcasts.
Okay.
So there's 3 of them. I'll repeat. You know how this works. I'll say it, and then in the space after, you all. It's gonna sound crazy here on Zoom, but just let it be crazy.
Yeah.
And Pookie, you probably say it along
I'm
with
gonna
you
say
too.
it with you.
And so these are all. Also these are not affirmations like I am a millionaire, because like your brain can like go, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? These are things I think you can actually be authentically say, and embody it. So here we go. Ready? The first one is, I am ready for a new relationship with money. Say it.
I am ready for a new relationship with money.
There's another. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways.
Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways.
And I believe this one was inspired by Bob Proctor, but I changed the wording to be a little roll off the tongue a little bit better. Money comes to me in increasing amounts from multiple sources.
Money
comes to me in increasing amounts from multiple sources.
From a number of sources.
or multiple sources.
Multiple, many, lots of.
A whole bunch
abundant,
of different sources.
sources.
But I like that, expected and unexpected ways, because you don't have tunnel vision about, I have to make money from this job or this product or this service. It's like it can come from anywhere, and being open to that, is really a powerful thing.
Tunnel vision can be an obstacle.
So really, I really appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to stop the recording momentarily, but again, if anyone, and then you guys whoever needs to go is free to go. If anyone wants to stick around, just say hi. Like, especially if we've never connected and you want to say anything for just a bit, we'll just have a short after party for that kind of stuff. But I want to remind you again that the 30 days to manifesting more money in abundance, it starts October 1st, and for the next 3 days until the end of Friday, which I think is the 23rd. Is that right?
I don't know.
Whatever Friday is, at the end of the day, you can use that coupon to save. It's save 15%, which equates to close to $30 on the registration fee, and then it goes up for their final week before it starts. So if that speaks to you, jump on it. And I know some of you we will be seeing there.
Yeah.
I've already signed up for it, like Dave and I think some. Yeah,
Linda.
Is Linda signed up for it
Yeah.
too? Oh, awesome.
Dawn and Sandy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I have the I don't have the list memorized, but I'm glad that you all could
They
be-
know if they signed up
All right.
for it already.
So before that, when I end the official recording, just do a wave goodbye and say hey, or say something again.
Bye. It was awesome.
You guys are
Yay.
fabulous. I wish you an abundant life.
Yay.